Hello, I am Wallace, the Polish toy guy, and today I'm going to show you how to transform Deluxe Triggerhappy and Titan Master Blowpipe from Transformers Generations Titans Return by Hasbro. This video will cover both the transformation from jet mode to robot mode and back. And as usual, before we transform Triggerhappy into robot mode, we will see what can be done with this toy aside from transforming it. And gimmick-wise, you can, for example, observe the front landing gear and close it. And there's nothing you can close for the rear landing gear because it's represented by these two small semicircular protrusions and perhaps whatever you plug for weapons. Also, if you want, you can use this little hole to attach Triggerhappy's jet mode to an action stand, so he can be airborne, and I really like this display option. And speaking of said weapons, you can use these attachment points under the wings as well as on the inner part of the cannon, if you can fit anything here, to add extra weapons to Triggerhappy, and you can also add extra things to him by using these small tabs on top of jet mode, which can then be used by Titan Masters to grab a ride on the jet mode, or you can alternatively take them away from here, open up the cockpit and place a Titan Master inside. For example, Triggerhappy's own Titan Master Blowpipe. And with all of that said and done, we can now begin the transformation to robot mode. So first we have to prepare a bit, so we close the front landing gear, disconnect the weapons from under the wings, and open up the cockpit to get our Titan Master outside if he was there in the first place. Now let's begin the main transformation. I like to start with detaching the arms. They are connected to the rest of the body using two tabs. The grey one connects at the elbow, and the other one, that's also containing some elements of the shoulders, connects to the legs using this tab in this slot. So we untap these elements on the other side, and now we can go to the legs or the rear section of the jet and unwind it. As you can see, everything was stacked together at around 45-degree angle. So now we straighten out this, straighten out this. So we have this kind of reverse L. We can go to the feet and move them into their robot mode position. And as you can see, one heel decided to already be in the right position on its own, and the other one we have to help. Now we can rotate the legs below the waist so that we have the paint all on one side. Next we go to the nose and we push it down so it disconnects from the canopy, and then using this rotation hinge we swing the entire torso 180 degrees so that we align these slots and these tabs, which will now connect after we use this hinge to push them together. And they gently snap into place, and we can also put the jet nose on the back, and we can now compress the shoulders, and they will also tap into place. Like that. Now we can swing the wings down. As you can see, they also tab into the elbows, or at least their side. Now we can swing the secondary guns so that they are at the sides of the forearms, and while we're at it we can also flip out the hands, which will snap into place. So again, flip this back, flip this out, snap. We then separate the legs And we can finish the transformation by getting our hands on Blowpipe. And if he was in sitting position like mine, you just have to flip his legs up to complete his transformation into Triggerhappy's head, which we then connect using Blowpipe's head and this slot. So we push one into the other. Without getting discouraged if this is not working on your first try. There we go. And if we want, we can also arm Triggerhappy up the way we prefer. There's no real rule which gun should go into which hand. And now that that's done, Triggerhappy's robot mode is fully complete. And in terms of robot mode gimmicks, there are a few things that you can do with Triggerhappy other than posing him. For one, you can use these extra hard points for adding new weapons to him. You can also use this little hole at his posterior to attach him to an action base. And you can also take his guns and combine them to create a battle platform or just a weapon that can be operated by a Titan Master, which can then snap into place using these pegs and holes in their legs. And of course, this being a toy deluxe or above from Titan's Return, you can swap out Triggerhappy's head for another one if you prefer so. And now we can start transforming Triggerhappy back into his jet mode. The first thing I will do is remove his guns, remove his head, and transform it back into Titan Master mode. Just flip down the legs and you're done. You can also already put him into sitting position if you want to place him back in Triggerhappy's cockpit. And now let's go over to the main body. And now I'm going to first transform the upper part and then work with the legs. So first we want to put his arms into a straight line. Hide his fists inside the forearms by just flipping them in and rotating these two barrels so that they take place of the hands. They will actually click softly into position, so there's no real secure connection point for them, but they will be stiff enough not to move too far away on their own. And we can seal the entire arm by using this tab and this slot. If aligned properly, this will lock the entire forearm and arm into a single piece that will not budge on its own. Now, to continue the transformation, we will go over to the shoulders, grab them with our fingers from both sides and wiggle them out so that they unplug. And this will make it easier to pull out the lower bit of the torso, like so, and we repeat this on the other side. And we leave it like that for now. Now we can swing the nose up for now 90 degrees, and we can push in the other direction with the waist. And now we can use this hinge over here to spin this around 180 degrees so that now we can form the cockpit by combining the lower part of the torso and the nose that we can now put into its final position, and it will snap there. Now we can transform the legs, so first let's work with them as a separate section. So let's combine them using these slots and these tabs. Now we push the heels inside the shins as far as they will go. But for the feet, we keep them at around such an angle. And now we can push this up 45 degrees and also move the hips, but not before spinning them around on this waist section, so that we have a mismatch of colors before our eyes. And now we can use the knees to bend the lower legs and use the hips to bend this, so that we have such a line with the upper legs and the crotch piece. And now we have to bend the legs at the knees so that the feet end up behind the torso. Or you could bend the knees before swinging this whole section up. It really depends on you. The case is you just want to have a situation where these tabs will go into these small slots on the sides of the robot feet, and they will gently lock together. And now we can use this slot and this tab in the shoulder to lock everything into place. On one side we are done, on the other side we dock, and we are also done. And now we can use this great tab to lock the robot forearm with the rest of the jet. Repeat on the other side. And the basic jet mode is now complete, but we can make it prettier by, for example, folding out the front landing gear, attaching the guns to the wing hardpoints, and also, if you want, you can open up the cockpit and place blowpipe in there. And usually it's much easier to do if you just break the nose, put blowpipe into his final position, and then close the nose off, because you can see that there's a small hole where the tips of his legs will go. So if you can actually see everything, it makes things a lot easier. Now we close this off, and the full jet mode for Triggerhappy is now complete. And that's all for this transformation guide. I hope it was useful to you and you liked it. More guides like this are coming soon, and in the meantime, feel free to suggest a new one in the comments. I might just have the toy you want to see transformed. I will catch you again in the next video, and until then, stay well. Polish Toy Guy signing out.